And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krusha, and this is today's Theta Fuel analysis video. We will be going over both those pairs, okay? TFUEL USDT as well as TFUEL BTC. Now, a lot of eyes have been on this. Many people sort of got into TFUEL after the pump, and well, you guys know, while this was a volatile move to the upside, that was a 10x by the way, there was also an equally volatile move to, well, the downside. Okay, now this was a good 60% dump. Now I'm pretty much going to approach this chart like I do all the other altcoins as well. The first thing I'm going to do is start off with the Mango dashboard because I want to see what Theta Fuel is signaling on the dashboard. We'll start off with that 2-day time frame, and what do you know, guys, on that top gainers list, the top 3 gainers list, TFUEL has 2 positions on there, TFUEL USDT as well as TFUEL BTC. Okay, so for those of you who did manage to catch TFUEL on the Mango dashboard, the dashboard gave you a long signal 19 days ago. Okay, and since then, even after the dip, you're still up 246%. This is on TFUEL BTC. If you took the TFUEL USDT trade, this also gave you a long signal 19 days ago, and since then you are up 261%. And once again, guys, this is even after the 60% dip to the downside. Now, okay, this is long, you know, but however, we cannot ignore the fact that, well, TFUEL took a 60% dump to the downside. Now, question is, what we want to find out is whether or not this has, you know, more upside to it, or is the trend done? Are we moving down from here, right? So let's move on to those lower time frames. We're going to go on to the 4-hour trend signals. And what do you know, guys? TFUEL BTC flipped long 4 hours ago, and TFUEL USDT also flipped long 4 hours ago. So now let's actually get onto the chart to see what TFUEL could very well be doing, right, in the more immediate hours of the day. Now, this is TFUEL on that daily time frame. Note that we will be dissecting both charts, okay, TFUEL USDT as well as TFUEL BTC, to get a more holistic picture of what, you know, what price action could be doing, whether we have more weight to go to the upside or do we dump from here, right? So this is TFUEL on the daily. I'm going to start off by marking those high-level horizontals. I believe we have one around here, one right around here. I do believe that this one is also a region, but let me just zoom out and we'll check it out. Yeah, that is a horizontal right around there. Okay, and I'm going to mark one more resistance overhead. So if we start, you know, if TFUEL starts making a bullish turn here, I think the next region that will be contested is all the way up here at 1 cent. Okay, now the first thing that really pops out on my screen, guys, is how price is sort of, it's very iffy around this region right here. Okay, it's looking weak around the support, and I don't want to see that usually when I'm looking for strong price action, or I am looking for that continuation to the upside. But let's actually go ahead and turn on our Ichimoku cloud, and what do you know? Price is still holding that 21 EMA. I mean, ideally, what I would have liked if I had a bag of TFUEL, I would have wanted price to, well, hold this wick right here. This wick, I'm looking at this candle right here on 29th of May 2020. The lowest part of that wick, sitting at around 0.0082, I would have wanted price to hold that as the low. Okay, however, note that price so far, all these daily consecutive candles that we've had, has been closing over that 0.0082 region. Okay, we've been closing over that. However, notice these wicks. We have been wicking past it. Okay, but what cannot be ignored is that we still have that 21 EMA underneath us, and it seems like it is guiding price action. I mean, so far, guys, if you just kind of zoom out, ever since TFUEL USDT started this move to the upside, we've been holding that 21 EMA quite well. This right here was a trap. We lost it here only to take it back, and what do you know? You know, we had that huge ensuing move to the upside. This was a 10x, guys, a 10x. Okay, nothing to be scoffed at. The last time I saw a 10x personally was in the last bull cycle back in 2017. I'm sure, I mean, coins have pumped 10x since then, but nothing that I have heard of personally. TFUEL is one of the very first ones this year for me, at least. Okay, now this is still looking decent. What I would not want if I am someone who's still in a long position on TFUEL USDT, I would not want price losing the 21 EMA. Okay, I do believe losing the 21 EMA is going to be the first bearish tell, at which point I will be looking for price to make its way all the way down here at around 0.0062 cents. Okay, while this may look like a small region on my chart, it is not. Okay, this is a good 20% to the downside. This is a volatile chart right now, guys. It is extremely volatile, so be very careful in really holding on to those bags. Okay, look for those horizontals. You know, define a zone for yourself and have a hypothesis on that zone. Tell yourself that, hey, if price breaks this, I am invalidated on my trade. I need to get out. Holding a losing bag does not help you, buddy. Okay, so be careful. Have an invalidation point on this trade if you are someone who is still in a TFUEL trade. Okay, now, of course, this could very well take a turn to the upside. Now, we did see the dashboard flip long on those lower time frames, right? So let's get onto that lower time frame on TFUEL USDT and see what it could be doing there. Now, the first thing I see here is that, okay, price has been holding that 21 EMA as resistance. We tried taking it out only to lose it on the next candle, and it appears that we have done something very similar here, right? I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on the 10 simple as well, and wow, okay, so this is interesting. Gonna zoom out. I want to see what price has done relative to these two EMAs. Sorry, the two moving averages. The red one is the 10 simple moving average, and the yellow one is the 21 exponential moving average. Okay, so I want to see what price has done relative to these levels. How well do we trend on it? And we do pretty damn well on this, guys. I mean, ever since TFUEL started its trend, that 21 EMA has been a beautiful buy opportunity every time. Notice how price trends on that 21 EMA as well as that Tenkin, right? So as soon as price takes out that Tenkin, it usually makes a move to the upside. Every time it loses it, it says that, hey, the trend is cooling off right now. But as soon as we took it back here, once again, instant move to the upside. We never even lost it on this consolidation right here. Okay, so that Tenkin seems to be very powerful right now. And okay, so we never lost it until we lost the Tenkin right here, and we have been holding it as well resistance ever since. Okay, resistance along with the 10 SMA as well as that 21 EMA. So it was looking rather weak here, but what do you know? Now we're all kind of scrunched up. I mean, this looks like a beautiful sandwich. I mean, this could either break up from here or down. Now, what I will consider as bullish is if price manages to take out that Tenkin. Okay, taking out that Tenkin will be the first bullish tell, at which point I will be looking for consecutive candle body closes, 4-hour candle body closes over that Tenkin. Okay, price doing that will flip the picture, in my opinion, at least in those immediate hours of the day. Okay, look for how price reacts to that Tenkin. For those of you who do not know what settings we use for the Ichimoku Cloud, these are the double settings. Okay, so pull up the Ichimoku Cloud. It is an absolutely free indicator. All right, and the double settings are 20, 60, 120, 30. Now, the first region that, if we manage to do that, the first region that will be contested is only going to be here at around that point, at 1 cent pretty much. Okay, 1 cent is going to be the first point of resistance. The second one is going to be all the way up at that Kijun. Okay, that's what I'll be looking for if price starts closing over that Tenkin. On the flip side, on the bearish side, if we lose the 10 SMA again and we start closing consecutive candles underneath that 10 SMA, and I want you to notice how it is in line with our major daily horizontal. Okay, if we start closing consecutive 4-hour candles underneath it and we use it as overhead resistance, that will be a bearish picture, at which point I'll be looking for price to make its way all the way down here, 0.0077 cents. Okay, losing this, okay, on the daily time frame, I'm going to then switch on to the daily time frame, and I'm going to watch at how price reacts off of that 21 EMA. Okay, coming all the way down here will be price losing that 21 EMA. If we close a daily candle underneath that 21 EMA, I think it's going to be game for the bulls. Right now, guys, as things stand, TFUEL USDT seems to be in, it seems to be hovering in no man's land. Okay, now another thing I'm noticing here is that 10 SMA that's sort of just coming down, is coming down quite aggressively. That's a very, very steep slope on that. If TFUEL manages to close on the bullish side, if we manage to start closing candles over the 10 simple moving average on the daily time frame, I do believe that this picture is going to flip bullish once again. Okay, at which point the next level of resistance is only going to be up here at around that 0.013 cents. All right, but the main levels that you need to be looking at right now on this chart is that daily 21 EMA, okay, and on the 4-hour time frame, you're looking at that Tenkin. Taking out that Tenkin and closing consecutive candles over that Tenkin will flip this picture, and I do believe that the bulls could very well take over from there. Now let's get on to TFUEL BTC to see what it could be doing. And you know, I mean, it applies that this too is consolidating, and there you go, right? It's once again a very, very tight sandwich on that 4-hour time frame. If you notice that TFUEL USDT is consolidating in a tight range and it is currently hovering in no man's land, I usually wouldn't expect TFUEL BTC to be doing anything different. Unless Bitcoin, of course, is having some sort of volatile move to the downside or the upside, but that is not happening right now. Bitcoin too is hovering in its range. Now, once again, guys, it's the same picture here too. Okay, we have a sandwich between the Tenkin, 21 EMA, and the 10 simple moving average. This too could swing either way, but note that I'm seeing a pattern play here. Okay, this is a bearish pattern, but it has not been activated yet. Okay, now a pattern only becomes a pattern after the break of the neckline. Now this is a descending triangle with this region right here at around that 87 sats being, well, the bottom of the triangle. If price breaks this to the downside, okay, only then will this pattern be activated, at which point the measured move of this bearish descending triangle will take TFUEL all the way down to, and where is this? 54 sats. Okay, this is not going to be a small move to the downside. This is going to be a pretty significant chunk. It's a good 37% to the downside. Okay, that is not a small amount, and that's why I always emphasize, you know, the thing of actually having an invalidation point on all of your trades. While a lot of people, they get into trades and they're only looking at the upside, they're only looking at the positives, right? They're only looking at their potential profits, but a lot of them do not consider the potential downside. And coins like this, where the chart is extremely volatile, that could hurt you really bad. Okay, that could hurt your entire portfolio pretty severely. Okay, so be careful, have those invalidation points, and if I was currently in a trade on TFUEL, this right here, this horizontal, would be my invalidation point, okay, at 87 sats. Now, this is on that 4-hour time frame. I do believe that once again, taking out that Tenkin could put the bulls back in control. That is if and only if we have consecutive candle body closes over the 4-hour Tenkin. Okay, now if you just zoom out of the chart, let's go and see how price has performed relative to the 21 EMA, the 10 SMA, as well as the Tenkin. And what do you know, guys? It is the same picture. Okay, we take out that Tenkin and we hold it as support along with the 21 EMA and the 10 SMA. And throughout that entire run up, we never lost the 21 EMA or the Tenkin. Okay, those were extremely, extremely good guides. And this right here, this candle right here, was the first bearish tell, right? We lost it. We had that very, very classic retest and then further continuation to the downside. So what we're looking for right now, if you are someone who is in a bullish trade on TFUEL BTC, is for price on the 4-hour time frame to start closing over that 4-hour Tenkin. That will solidify the bullish stance on this. Okay, consecutive candle body closes. That's what we will be looking for. So right now, what is to know, TFUEL is in no man's land. Okay, this has not come to a decision point. This could swing either way. Okay, if we break that Tenkin on both the BTC chart as well as the USDT chart to the upside, and we start closing candles over that, I'm saying we're going up. If we break the 10 SMA to the downside, as well as that major horizontal, I'm saying this is likely to come down further. So be very careful. This is sandwiched in a very tight to narrow zone right now. Okay, so handle this with care. And yeah, this is all I have for you for TFUEL, guys. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys. Ciao.